All right. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 19, verses 9 and 10. And he said unto me, Right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said unto me, These are the true sayings of the Most High. Verse 10, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushua, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushua, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and blessing and salutations to the elect men who continue to push this true gospel throughout the four corners of the earth in these last days. Shabbat Shalom, Akim. Shabbat Shalom. Salakim. All right. It's going to be the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, full breakdown. The book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, full complete breakdown. Right? So without further ado, let's jump into it. The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea. And that sea represents the people. Okay, also these other nations, all right, who surround the sea. Okay. And I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, this beast is not a literal beast out of a cartoon. All right. This is what the prophet John saw on the island of Patmos, okay, which sits in Greece, okay? And those 7 heads are the French, the Romans, Britain, the British, all right, Germany, all right, Spain, all right, Germania Major and Germania Minor. Those are the 7 heads, all right? The 10 horns are Belgium, France, Greece, Germany, Spain, Italy, the Luxembourgs, the Netherlands, the UK, all right, and Portugal, all right? Those are your 10 horns right there, man, all right? And it says, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy, all right? So that's what this whole beast system infrastructure is all about, okay? Ultimately, to take down the nation of Israel, because we don't have a seat in the UN, all right? So they blaspheme the Most High's name, his son's name, the angels, the children of the Most High, which are us, the Israelites, which consist of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native Americans, the so-called Cubans, all right? So-called Mexicans, all right? So-called Haitians, so-called Jamaicans, all right? They blaspheme the nation of Israel. Okay? Quick precept for that. The book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 83. Psalm chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep thou not silence, O power. That word God means power. Alahayim in the Hebrew. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O power. Verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they hate thee have lifted up the head. The enemies are making a tumult to come against the nation of Israel, to take us down, okay? Using strategic measures, whether it be mentally, physically, and most important, spiritually, okay? Using all kind of devices to take this nation down, all right? Blasphemy, all right? Back in Revelation 13th chapter and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and that leopard represents Alexander the Greek, which we say over here, Great Millstone, Alexander the Freak, all right? The Grecian Empire, okay? All this whole Esau's, the so-called white man's whole system started right here, up under Alexander the Greek, man, all right? Quick precept, it's the book of Maccabees in the Apocrypha, First Maccabees. Back that up. First Maccabees chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 1. And it happened after that, Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes. And that's some history right there too, man. All right? Because the Persians, with the Medo-Persian Empire, took down the Babylonians. All right? 539 BC. Under King Cyrus II. All right? And Xerxes II followed him afterwards, man. All right? And it says that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Now we see why these Edomites, the so-called white man, these elites, all right, your Federal Reservists, okay, the Rothschild, Rockefeller family, all right, the Oppenheimer family, they took this out of here because this condemns him. The whole Bible itself condemns these devils, man. All right? And it says, verse 2, 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 2, and made many wars, talking about Alexander the Great, all right? And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Slew mean killed. He slayed them. All right, verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. That's how much power he was taking down. Everywhere he went, they feared him because he was coming in to bring death. All right? Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. His heart was lifted up. The Most High controlled these kings of the earth as he does today. Like you got these election coming up or whatever like this, who people say they're going to vote for Biden or vote for Trump. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua already said it already in stone for who was going to be in this seat at this time. Right now it's DJ Trump, all right? And we over here, Great Millstone, we hope that he'd be back in office again, man. All right, I'm going to prove that to you. It's the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 21, 21 and 1. 21 and 1. Backing up what he just said about and his heart was lifted up. The Most High controls him, man. All right, his heart was lifted up, man. He was in power, man. The book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth whatsoever he will. The Most High controls this thing. As he does the waters flowing throughout the streams, okay, controlling everything, the firmament of heaven, all right, he controls who's in power, who's going to be the king at this time, beginning with Alexander the Greek, all right? So let's jump back to Revelation 13th chapter. All right, the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right, and verse 2, and it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, Alexander the Greek, 331 BC, okay, and his feet were as the feet of the bear, which represents the Russians, which are the ancient name would be the Medes, but they're the Russians today, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, which represents Great Britain. And America comes out of Great Britain, okay? And the dragon gave him, his power, which represents the ancient Roman Empire, okay? And his seat and great authority. And who's running this great authority upon this world right now? The modern day Roman Empire is America, okay? Verse 3, the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. That was the fall of the ancient Roman Empire. It was wounded. It fell. The ancient Roman Empire came into existence, which was founded by Romulus. Okay, if I'm saying his name correctly, Romulus, in 753 BC. Okay, and it was taken down, okay, by Flavius. Is it Flavius Oducia, if I'm saying his name correctly also, Flavius Oducia. Okay, he took down the Roman Empire, and Rome fell in 476 AD. All right, so it says, and I saw one of his heads, and where he was wounded, the ancient Roman Empire being taken down, and his deadly wound was healed, meaning it came back into power. And at that time when it fell, all right, Jake which we say Jacob over here amongst the nation of Yasha'al of Israel, okay, which means Jacob, okay, came into power at that time under Septimius Severus and reigned really over 1,000 years. We say 1,000-year period, okay. Here it is, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. Verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon, the ancient Roman Empire, which gave power unto the beast, and the beast is NATO, okay, which is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, okay, and the European Union, okay. NATO is military, and the European Union is political, okay. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? Who's able to make war with this beast system right here, man? All the 10 horns, all right? The seven head which make up the whole this beast. Who's gonna be able to make war with that? All right? That's the whole infrastructure of this beast system, man. All right? And they had a precept I wanted to get in Daniel the 8th chapter pertaining to with that Medio Persian Empire. But yeah, man, this ancient Roman Empire is back to date. All right? The deadly wound has been healed. You look at America right now today, it looks like what? Rome all over again. Rome would be considered what? In Washington, D.C. All right? Down here in Louisiana would be spiritual Egypt, man. This the rotten of all places right here. This is where that transatlantic slave trade come into play. All right? Through the port of New Orleans, all the way up to the East Coast to Jamestown, Virginia. All right? Just a little history. All right? All right? The book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. That mouth really represents America. All right? It speaks blasphemy when you read Revelation 17th chapter. That great whore who speaketh lies, fornication, the philosophies, Christianity, okay? Saying on the back of the dollar bill, in God we trust, but does everything contrary to the Most High. Because these other nations, they don't believe in the Most High. All right? You got atheists and everything like this, Buddhism, Hinduism, all created by the so-called white man. All right? In which our people are involved in. That's blasphemy to speak against the Most High, man. All right? And it says, a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months, 3.5 years. Power coming to America. All right? Which is Babylon the Great. Verse 6, the book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name, saying every other name against the Most High, all right? Bringing Daniel 7 and 25 into play, all right? Changing the times and laws, okay? Giving our people a so-called white boy, or Jesus, or Christ, okay? Yeah, saying every name but the real name is only one name. Or Yahweh, or Yahuwah, or all them other garbage names, Jehovah and all that, man. No, his name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right? And it says, and his tabernacle, which is the house of David, okay, us, calling us all Negroes and Spics, Cherokees and everything like that, boy, colored people, African American, those are all bywords. All right? And it says, and them that dwell in heaven, the angels. Talking about the holy angels and the prophets were all white. That's blasphemy, man. It's bullshit. All right? Verse 7, the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. How did he make war? During the Renaissance period, which means Renaissance means rebirth period. Iconoclasm. The word icon means an image. That's when he took down the images of Yahushua